Hello to my good friends at SeemsGoodMagic.com. This is Travis, Simulant, Sowers, and Dutch. And we're here to do some more emo drafting. I've not had phenomenal success with this format, and am looking to explore it a little bit in this draft that we're going to do today. So I may end up doing a little bit more speculative picks than I normally do, but we will find out during the course of the draft and see what we open. And here we are. Well, not much exploration to be done here because Talia is kind of busted. I have had the opportunity to play against this card, not yet with it, and Talia has been very good. Other cards of note in the pack. We've got the Keswick Prowler. I like all of the werewolves. There's a Galvanic Bombardment. It's a pretty good pack. Subjugator Angel, Wretched Grift, Certain Death. I think you want at least one of those, maybe two in your black decks. But pretty happy to start with Talia and not pass much white. I mean, sure, there is the Subjugator Angel there, but it seems like a pretty easy Talia and not super likely to wheel anything, but we could see the Guardian if we want that. Okay, here we've got a little bit of a conversation with our choice of uncommons. There's an Ingenious Scab. I like this dude a lot. If it didn't have prowess, it would still be good. It's a Nibblghast Herald, which I think is actually a blue-white card, because you want it with other spirits, and here's other spirits. Then there's also this Extricator of Sin. I like this card a lot too. Now, the advantage of the Extricator is it's white, it goes with the white card, etc., etc. And somebody took a rare, we have no idea what's open and what's not. So this would leave us in white. But as I mentioned, I'm going to go a little differently than what I normally do. Maybe actually I got stuck trying to force first picks because I think the Nibblghast Herald is just the best card. So I'm going to take that. If we end up blue-white, that's great. If we end up just blue, it's okay too. But like, if we're blue-white, this card should be fantastic. Taps down one of their guys on offense and then lets you potentially tap down a blocker too. Well, there's not necessarily a clear pick here. Kind of confused at seeing both Incendiary Flow and Clear Shot. That doesn't mean a whole lot. It does mean we're pretty not interested in a Dawn Gryph. I would be happy third picking a Dawn Gryph, but yeah, I like red-white a little better than green-white these days, but I think Clear Shot is just a better card. You do have to have a creature in play, but the instant speed removal on this just means you can blow so many things out. I also don't hate being green-blue, even if you're not the green-blue Emerge deck. Somebody's going to see that fourth pick Incendiary Flow and think, I know what's up. And maybe you do. Maybe you do. And maybe it's just that we should have been green-red, that was the answer for those of you playing along at home, because Savage Alliance is savage. It really is. I think it's better than Uvenwald Captive, but I don't want to start out with a million different colors. But the question isn't, is Savage Alliance better than Nibblghast Herald and Thalia? The question is Savage Alliance plus all of the red-green cards I'm going to pick up over the course of the draft better than these? Because there are no white or blue cards, like Borrowed Grace and Take Inventory just don't compete. I'm taking Savage Alliance. We'll just pick a black card next and be good to go. That seems reasonable to me. Okay. Now, if we're going to end up in green, then this Furry Blade Vampire does not do a whole lot. It can attack some. It can block some. I'm kind of lost in this draft. It's kind of difficult to read the signals or lack thereof. Fiendbinder is okay. If we ended up red-white, we could play that. Unsubstantiate is fine. But I mean, bounce spells are not amazing. I guess I'm Fiendbinding here. We'll kind of figure out what we're doing after that. This just doesn't make any sense. We get a random 2 phenomenal removal spells and then start to see things like this. Like the Nibblghast Herald actually plays well with the Spectral Reserves. This is where I'm inclined to stick to white. But I feel that Dragunder's a better card than the Dawngryph. I'm really not sure what to pick here. I could take the Fen Creeper so I know I'm getting a playable, but I'm going to take the Dragunder and we'll see what happens from here. We should start to see some signals somewhere, sometime, somehow, right? Because I sure don't yet. So there's Handwear Battlements, which I think is fine. And there's a lot of red cards here, but they're not actually good red cards. Maybe we are just blue-white spirits and had some weird stuff happen here. I think that's probably what's up. We just happen to have two of the best uncommons for the other colors. I didn't want them, but here we are. Faithbearer Paladin I've come around on. You probably want one of these in your deck. We could still be green, but I think it looks like we're firmly white now. Okay. I like Enlightened Maniac, but I think if we're going to do this, I don't mind these dudes as 2-drops. They're not fantastic, but it looks like we're doing some sort of aggressive tempo blue-white not flyer. There's probably not a world in which we want a Fen Creeper, but I don't want any of the rest of this. Okay, and Dawngryph's just wheels, so blue... White X Skies, it likely is. I've seen times where I might want to side in a displace. Like, Dragunder plus Nibblegast Herald is probably better than either one of these. But, like, one more good quality red card and we're done. I'll go in. Wonder... Maybe? Probably not. Probably not. Not sure what these packs had in them that let these get to me, but I mean, I can envision certain rares, even red and green rares, that would allow that to happen. I almost took the Uvenwald Captive over something. I think over the Savage Alliance. Like, that was a close one. I can't remember exactly what it was, even though it was only seconds ago. All right, so here we go. We've got not really a whole lot and an Advanced Stitchwing. And I don't have room for a lot of 5-drops, but Advanced Stitchwing is one of the cards I will make room for. It will finish a game. That extra 3 toughness over the Stitchwing from the previous set really helps it out. I've played some with the Impetuous Devils. They're really good. I like them. Like, we could even wield the Tattered Haunter here and maybe play that. Like, I like these guys, but a lot of cards just blank them. One, for example, is Talia. Any creature with First Strike does that. They can't even do anything when she's in play because they come into play tapped. And there's a lot of X1 hate, but I don't mind like firming us up in blue-white with this as our flyer and potential to wield that Haunter. I'll play it in this deck. I've almost found room for Displace in a couple decks. All right, what's up next? We've got Lone Rider, Courageous Outrider, Dragunder Brute, Zvexing Skuttla. It's also Brazen Wolves, but I think we're kind of off of that. I haven't comboed with the Lone Rider yet, and I've kind of wanted to. It feels like the Outrider's probably better. There's also a Murder. I do see that, but I think we're pretty far away from that as well. Like, you could make an argument that Brazen Wolves plus Savage Alliance is better than what we've got going on here, and it might be, but I could still play the Outrider or the Lone Rider in that deck and still keep this Blue Dream alive. And like, we've got these other spirits that go with the Nibblegast Herald, so that's the thing. I kind of want to try out the Lone Rider. I've not gotten to play with that card yet, and it seems like it just wants a combat trick and an equipment. It already interacts favorably with this. But like, any equipment you put on it, it's good, and it is a fine blocker for the myriad X1s that are out there. Spectral Reserves kind of does it too if you can get in with it. So does Bard Grace. Yeah, I'm gonna give this guy a shot. All right, here we're dried up a little more. We're dried up a lot more. So we've got mediocre combat trick 0-1. Deranged whelp. Prey upon is here. That is a thing. So I'm probably taking an off-color card, and I've got to decide what it is. I've not been super impressed with the Frog Walker. The Deranged Whelp I have liked quite a bit. And I think it's a high pick. Like, it's one of the better 2-drops in the format. Borrowed Hostility would obviously go nice with the Lone Rider. Like, I guess there's still a possibility we're doing red or even green with that Prey Upon. I'm going to take the Whelp and kind of see where this goes. Hey, look, it's a Dutch. Now I'm again very confused. Drag Under is a card I like quite a bit. It doesn't go with either of these two. Borrowed Grace is a fine combat trick. Certain Death is good. I don't think we're in Homunculus territory. Maybe there's something I'm supposed to have figured out and I haven't, but I like bouncing their dudes. I think we're blue-white. Now here's a tough one. We've got Geist of the Archives versus the Ingenious Scab. I like the Geist of the Archives a lot and think it is a strong card. I'm not sure if Ingenious Scab is just better. I would guess the better your deck gets, the better the Geist of the Archives gets. I could see this being wrong, but with the 2 drag unders, I kind of like this Scab. I want something that can kill them, and that can do it. I think here I'm digging the Priest. This has not been quite as amazing as I thought it would be upon first glance, but it's still fine. Tappers are good. It doesn't tap everything, but it taps enough things. I'm going to have to get a... equipment at some point for the Lone Rider to make it in, because I don't think the Faithbearer Paladin is enough. Also, interesting that there's a Lashweed Lurker still there. It's not unreasonable to take that either, but I'm going to grab the Priest here. This pack's a little light for us. I'll take the Frog Walker, as I think I might play that, and I think I've pretty comfortably settled into my colors. This is about where I'd want to take another 2-drop. I do like Spontaneous Mutation a lot more than I thought I would. I don't think this deck is one that I'm super interested in it with, because we look like we're trying to be a bit on the aggressive side of things. I might play a counterspell, though. I'm scared to death of all these graft rats that have gone around, but... Wow, that's a lot of Drag Unders. I like Drag Under. And we got our Cultist Staff. Cool. I would like 1 white combat trick out of the next batch. So like a Strength of Arms is something I would be pretty interested in. And I wouldn't mind a couple more 2-drops. They don't even have to be good ones if we're just looking to kind of bounce their big stuff. Obviously, flyers go up in value too. I've been main decking 1 Convolute and Sealed, and it's been pretty good. And I don't really see any reason not to give it a test drive here in draft. There's no sense arguing with insanity. I agree. It's late in the game. I'm just going to hack a grapple with the past. All the Cathar shields you could ever want. Our Cathars are so shielded, but they've got these dinky little knives. How are they ever going to kill anything? I've got this giant ass shield and this little tiny stabby toothpick of a knife. Not impressed with your Quartermaster. I need to get you like some real gear or something. I'm keeping this over here for now because I'd kind of like to replace it with a True Faith Sensor, and I also want to remember that I kind of need to get one more life gain thing going on. And there's an interesting one. Like, if we have the Lone Rider out and cast the Silver Strike, it will flip. That's pretty cool. There's better cards here, but not for us. This doesn't quite fit in with the I want to attack with a couple 2-drops plan, but it does fit with the I have some flyers plan. Like, maybe we wield a spirit, maybe we don't. But I think we can make room for a Silver Strike. It also plays a little better with the Convolute. Like, the more instants you get, the better each one gets. There's Talia's Lieutenant, as well as a Topplegeist and a Neglected Heirloom. The Neglected Heirloom is certainly interesting with the Lone Rider. The downside is we're not likely to pick up much else that can flip with it. So for Humans, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means Talia's Lieutenant could probably be a 1/1 for 2, which I'm not super in love with. We could pick up more. And it is neat to have Talia and the Lieutenant, right? Like, that's kind of flavor win. Are we enabling Delirium for the Doppelgeist? It's pretty easy to get sorcery instant and creature. I'm not really sure how we get something else in there. It's a question whether I want to go a little bit more aggressive with the Humans or a little bit more aggressive with the Zephylias. Oh, this is so tough. I'm not sure. I'm taking the Doppelgeist. That could be wrong. That could have been very wrong. And yet, here we are. I think I'm more interested in Spirit Synergies and Flyers. Like, we've only got one of these dudes, and I realize we've got lots of humans. But the reason I'm picking this is the fail case of this is I get a 1/1 flyer for one that taps down a blocker. That's pretty cool. The fail case of the Talia's Lieutenant, and I've played it before and had it fail, is that it's a 2-mana 1/1 that doesn't do anything. And that sucks. So Captain could do something here. We look like we're sort of okay on the 2-drops now. Oddly, it would go better with the Lieutenant that I didn't take. We are sort of interested in a combat trick. But I feel like with the Staff, the Silver Strike, and the Faithbearer Paladin, I can justify the Lone Rider to myself. Plus, I want to try out the card. And we should be able to find more stuff. Hey, that's pretty cool. I like Pious Evangel. I like Pious Evangel a lot. And there's really nothing else here. Yeah, that Lieutenant's looking great now, isn't it? Okay. I like Angelic Purge. It is a card I want to play in my deck of cards. Would also accept a Fox. Like Scarecrow too, but I have first picked many Purges. White is open, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the nifty little loop of Spectral Shepherd Topplegeist, so I have to take the Shepherd, even though I'd really like this Dauntless Cathar and it would be good. I've done stupid things with Topplegeists and Spectral Shepherds before. It's even better if you can get a Rattle Chains out too, but that's a dream for another day. All of those cards are good and are cards we're interested in. So we've got enough ways now to get Delirium turned on for the Topplegeist. With the Evangel and the Purge, we can get a land in the graveyard pretty easily. I wouldn't mind having one more instant in this deck, because right now it's Convolute and Silver Strike. It's just not happening super often, but that's right. We'll just hack a Rise from the Tides. I don't want to play against that. Could play a Displace if we wanted to. What's up, Apothecary Geist? You may be better than a Fiendbinder now. You may not be. But I mean, it's another potential Wombo combo with Home Slice. Let's get inquisitive here. We're going to have to make cuts. I like making cuts. Nobody needs fixing that late. That's just not cool. We're close to mono white splashing for some drag unders. That makes Scabby here a little worse. But hey, there's the combat trick I wanted. It feels good to be me. That's all I know to say. So we have some 3-drops. Yes, we do. We've got 3-drops. How about you? Starting to think of what gets played and what doesn't. Silent Observer can be quite good if we need that kind of effect. I don't know that he gets mained, but he might. Actually, I'm probably more scared of Senseless Rage than Equestrian Skill. There's poor Loam Dryad. I've got a lot of respect for Loam Dryad these days. I didn't used to, but I've come around on Loam Dryad as a card. It's an interesting way to organize the new cards that I got. That's cool. And let's just have everything else disappear. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So this deck could clearly use a few more fleas, a few more threes. Survive the Night may not get in here. I think I'm happy siding that. Let's look at how many actual flyers we have that are going to be attacking. You don't fly. So we've got 5, 6 flyers that are getting in here. We've got enough spirits that this will reliably trigger. I think I can deal without one combat trick, although it is the only combat trick I have. I kind of like, this is a weird deck. It's looking to push a little bit of damage on the ground and then maybe close it out with the flyers. It probably doesn't have to have Convolute. If I'm going to cut an instant, let's make it this one, because this might be good. This probably will be good, so I can start there. And then we could just potentially cut 2 creatures and be done with it. This guy is good at attacking early, but that's probably not exactly what I'm after. And then I'd like the Fiendbinder's not good on defense. This still leaves me 16 creatures, all of which are pretty good on their own. Except for Lone Rider. I realize I'm doing a little bit of wombo combo here, and I think that's okay. We've got some ways to trigger it, like cast this guy, attack with this guy, equip this to it, Silver Strike their dude. It'd be neat if our combat trick went with it too, but I suppose we could also potentially play 3 creatures in a turn, but that's not super likely. Although it is possible. It is possible. Or maybe attack with the Lone Rider, use the Survive the Night on it, and then play a creature after this isn't. Like, it could happen, it could happen, that's all I'm saying. Is the Fiendbinder just better than Militant Inquisitor? It probably is. It probably is. I can get behind that, because, like, we've got plenty of 3s. Let's do that. Let's do that, and then go 9-8. It's almost a 10-7 deck, because, like, we don't have to have blue in an opener, but we do have to have white. I think I'm good with that. It does make the Stitchwing more of a 6-drop, but with what we've got going on here, I'm kind of okay with that. All right, groovy. Let's run this, and I'll see you guys for round 1 in just a minute.